Let's turn now to exploring the Shema, discussions on the issues of Trinity. We are on segment 2. We're in paper 2, Yahweh and Yeshua, part 43 of exploring the Shema. And we're working our way through this chart that Karn put together. You can see on my screen right now. And it's a very basic chart. And we've got 3 columns with 1 table. And we've got a bevy of verses under each column. And each column is labeled Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the 3 columns conveniently. This is a Trinitarian perspective. And each of the tables on the far left side is a label or attribute or name of God. And what we're doing is we're working our way down through the different passages that help us to see how the Bible in its unified whole paints a picture of a comprehensive, complex God who expresses himself in these 3 persons. And we can see this by the nature of not just the titles and the verbiage that is laced throughout the Bible, but we can also see it in the creative acts and the actions that God performs among mankind. And because of the overlapping titles and adjectives and descriptions that the Bible gives us, it leads us to the best conclusion that God is one being, he's one what, but he's made up of 3 persons, 3 who's, like Dr. James White is fond of saying. And so he's complex in his nature. So this is the perspective we're working from. So let's look at this table. We've already looked at Father called God, Son called God, and Holy Spirit called God in the different passages. We're turning now to our second week into the Son called God in John 1:1. We're focusing basically only on John 1:14 tonight, and we're not even really going to touch the Colossians passage. So for this part of my study, let's turn to the other passages that I've got pulled up. If you're looking at my screen right now, I've got John 1:1 pulled up. Let me just read it and jump right into the study. We read this in my liturgy. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And we've got Greek sitting right next to it. So let me look at this passage in the BibleHub.com tool that I got pulled up for you, available at BibleHub.com. I highly recommend this tool. It's available to anybody. And you don't even really have to know how to read Greek, but you can appreciate what John is conveying for us. In the beginning, right, in the arche. This arche is the starting point for Greek mindset, because indeed the arche is the source. It is the fountainhead of all that there is. And so the Greeks sought to understand, what is this arche, and who or what is it, and how did it come to be? And so that's really the philosophical side of the discussion that John borrows when he says, in the beginning. Indeed, it's not the beginning of God that John is describing. It's the beginning of everything that came after that. God himself has no beginning. And John is aware of that. And the Greek reflects that, and so does the Hebrew. So and I don't have time to look at that just now, but because I want to focus on this Word was with God and the Word was God. But the point being, en arche, in this beginning was the Word, ein halogos. In this beginning was this logos. We're going to be talking more about this logos tonight, or some people say logos, L-O-G-O-S, logos. In the beginning was the Word. And this Word, John says, kai halogos, and this Word, the logos, right? It's articular, so it's got the definite article in front of it. The Word was ein pros ton theon, was with God. This word pros, we don't have time to look at all of this tonight, but this Greek word pros, with, this preposition, connotes a close, face-to-face, intimate relationship of 2 beings or 2 persons or 2 individuals. It's motion towards the other object, up to object A towards object B, face to face, nose to nose, lip to lip. A very extremely intimate, close relationship with one another, towards one another, seeking this relationship with one another. This word was proston theon, with the God, literally the Greek ton theon. And John goes on to say, and kai theos ein halogos, God was the logos, word. And we're going to talk a little bit about who is who. Is God the Word, or is the Word God? Is God the Word, or is the Word God? Can we make sense of this Greek? Literally, it says God was the Word, but is that the way we should translate it? Should we translate God was the Word? Should we translate or should we translate the Word was God? Which one's subject and which one's predicate, right? And we're going to talk about predicate nominative in a bit.